What's good, faves? It's your fave, Miss Renee. You guys, I'm back with part 2 of Married to a Serial Cheater. You guys, if you thought part 1 was interesting, child, just wait till you hear what Larry done did now. Okay, you guys. So, welcome back to my Fave Miss Renee story time with my faves. Y'all, this story is true. I know it sounds crazy because I'm such an assertive woman now. Keep in mind that this story happened some 25, maybe 26. No, let me see. To be almost as accurate as I can be, this story happened about 24 or 23 years ago. Something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time, okay? But it's true. I know. It's crazy to think that a woman could be so naive that she didn't understand how the phone bill worked. But it's true. I really didn't get it. And I really believe that some kind of way the phone signals, wires, or whatever had gotten crossed, and someone else's calls were billed to our phone. But I'm sure you watched the first part 1, and now you know that that's just not what happened. No, it didn't happen that way. So it was kind of crazy because, again, this was 20-something years ago. Today I am not the woman I was back then. I wasn't as naive, of course, and clearly you wouldn't catch me sleeping like that now. But everything has a season, and for every season, there's a thing. So I learned a lot, and I'm thankful for the journey. I mean, look what I get to do now, right? And I really believe that a very significant part of who I am now is because I've had to travel and survive so many different obstacles. But this is just another testament to show my faves that with God, anything's possible. And because I did know God during that time, I didn't lose my mind. Felt like I would, but I didn't. All right, you guys. So let's get on with the story, right? I hope you guys are snuggled in. You guys, I am quite comfortable. You can't see it, but my feet are on pillows. I got pillows behind my back and pillows in my lap, so I'm very comfortable. So you get comfortable too. Go pause the video, honey. Go get yourself together so that you can come and just chill with Fave Miss Renee while I tell you the deets, honey. I'm going to give you all the deets to this ridiculously horrible, awful scandal of my life. But, okay. So, if you can recall, even if you have not watched part 1 of this video series, you gotta go back and watch part 1, or this part won't really make as much sense to you as it should, okay? Nevertheless, the cliffhanger that I left you guys with in the last video, I said to you something like, I eventually called all the numbers. I eventually talked to at least 3 females by just way of getting numbers off the bill, calling to find out, did they know Larry, whatever. And then I told you that eventually I called even the numbers that he didn't call that often. And then I was in the shock. I was in for the shock of a lifetime or my lifetime or whatever. Something to that effect. That was the cliffhanger. But I also need to give you backstory to that event. Because yes, I did eventually call even the numbers that he didn't call that often. But there is another backstory to what happened before I made that call. Oh, child. Thank you, God. Oh, Lord. We got to thank God right now. Honey, that I didn't go to jail during that time. I'm just trying to tell you. Okay? Because who, child? Okay, so anyway. So the backstory is I had found out about these women. I was beyond devastated, okay? I was young, housewife, army housewife, at home raising babies, a craft lady, cooking and cleaning, and then I find all this out. It was a nightmare. Initially, we did get into marriage counseling, okay? I know that I was probably thinking this couldn't be the end of us. I was thinking that, I wanted to salvage something, and so did he. Okay, he was very much interested in doing whatever he could to keep the family together, to keep us married. So we went to family counseling, and I remember being just a very angry young woman during those months. I was there, but I wasn't really there. And we had a Christian therapist. I knew by her office spoke volumes about her faith and her beliefs. And she talked, very well to us about marriage and just the entire lifestyle of husband and wife, and whole nine, whatever. And then we had gone maybe a couple times to see her. I remember one day she called me off the record. This is true, y'all. She called me off the record and she said, Miss Fav Ms. Renee, I'm calling you off the record. Mind you, I was young. I had no idea what she was talking about. But I was like, okay. And she was like, I'm calling you off the record. But in my spirit, I have to tell you. She said, it's dropped in my spirit, and I have to tell you that it's not over. And I remember saying, what? It's not over? He's going to do it again? And she said, all I know, sweetheart, is that it's not over. And I was like, oh my God. So after that phone call, we probably went back, but I don't remember, okay? That timeline is really foggy because I was kind of in and out, you know what I'm saying? Even though I was awoke, but I was not awoke, okay? I was traumatized. So I think I might have felt like, what's the point of going back if he's still, if this is still ongoing, why go to marriage counseling? So, unfortunately, you guys, I really slumped into a really dark depression. Oh my God, it was horrible. I was starting to feel defeated. I was starting to feel completely discouraged. I felt like my life was a lie. I didn't want to be with him anymore. I didn't want to live in Georgia anymore. I was completely just devastated. So I would sleep a lot. I would just kind of lay around, and I wasn't doing all of the things I had been doing. I wasn't making crafts. I wasn't, this little wife anymore. No, I was quite the opposite. I was very depressed. And so I was laying on the couch one afternoon, and my daughter, my oldest daughter, had went to check the mail. And she went out and got the mail. She brought it back. And I just went through the mail and looked. I mean, this is the thing, you guys. We were married, and a lot of the times I was in charge of paying bills. Why I saw the phone bill in the first place, right? Okay, so I was looking through the things, and I came across this letter, and it didn't make sense to me. And so I was like, what is this? And I looked at it. It didn't make sense. I didn't know why we would have anything coming from the department of anybody. But this one was Family and Support Services or something. And I had never seen anything like it, and I didn't know what it was. So I opened up the letter, clearly again, thinking, what is this? Somebody else's mail. But when I opened the letter, clearly it was for our house, because it had Larry's name at the top, along with a woman's name. And the way it read was her name versus Larry. And then it said something about child support or something. What? So I looked at this letter, and I'm like, again, I don't recognize that name, but I clearly see Larry's name. Instantly, I knew what the marriage counselor was talking about. When she called me, she wasn't saying that the cheating isn't over. What she was saying is the worst is still yet to come. It's not over because you don't know everything. So I looked at this letter, and mind you, at this time I was cried out. I had no tears. I looked at the letter with open eyes. I understood what the letter meant. And I called him at work again. And I said to him, you need to come home right now. And I hung up. So at that time, I had one friend left in Georgia. Most of my military wife friends had all PCS to somewhere else, and I was the only lady there left, except for my next door neighbor, who was also about to PCS, but she was still here. And I walked over with the letter. She knew what we had been going through. I needed someone to talk to. I showed her the letter, and like me, she didn't understand it at first. And she took her time and read it again. And she looked up at me. Oh, Fav Ms. Renee, I'm so sorry. And I just said, I am too. I really am. And then I said, can my kids come over here for a little while? And she said, of course. I said, I just called him to come home, and I don't want my kids to see all of this. And she was like, yes, go get the babies and bring them over here. So I did that. I went and got all the kids, and As I was taking them to my neighbor's, Larry was pulling up. He was pulling up in the driveway. And when he saw the kids walking over, he just came. He was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" So he goes and sits down in the den. And I came in right behind him. And I went, "You got a baby out here on me." And he looked at the papers. He didn't deny. He took off his hat. And he said, "This is going to mess us up, ain't it?" And I looked at him and said, "I'm going to leave you. Not a tear in my eye. I'm going to leave you." Well, you know Larry. Immediately. "I don't know if that's my baby. I don't know if that's my, that girl. I don't know nothing about her. Like I think I don't know if she's probably trying to put that baby on me. I don't know nothing about that baby." Well, y'all, let's understand something. When the child support papers came to our home, the baby was almost 2. You can't make this up, okay? Seriously. The baby was almost 2. So, the most hurtful part of all of that was everybody that lived in Florida that knew Larry, his family, his friends, and everybody in between knew that he had a baby. I was the only person that didn't know. How about that? I know. So it became a reality of, I can't stay here with you any longer, because if I do, it's not going to be good for one of us, maybe even both of us. I've got to go. I've got to get away from you. He lied and lied and lied. He made the girl go through a blood test. He lied and lied and lied. And I was with him when the child support division clerk or whatever read off the "You are the father" papers, like Maury. "Larry, you are the father." I was there. And those results were like, you can't lie about it. Like the 99.99999. Yeah, so congratulations, Larry. Y'all, crazy. Absolutely insane. Well, you guys would be very proud to know I didn't take that. Over the next couple of months, it was rough because I was as angry as a rattlesnake. Oh my gosh. And I can remember crying out loud, wanting to escape, to get away, not knowing how, but knowing that I needed to. And it just seemed like nothing was in my favor. I was looking for a regular job. At this point, I felt like I needed to make some money so that I could get away from him. But I couldn't find a job. I looked everywhere and I couldn't find anything. And then one day, Larry called me on the phone while he was at work. And you guys, most of you know that I live in Louisville, Kentucky, born and raised here. And Fort Knox is in Kentucky. And Larry called me and said, miraculously, that he had orders to return to Fort Knox, Kentucky. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I was to learn that I was coming home. And you guys, getting away from Larry. Okay, you guys, so listen, it's not over yet. That is almost the beginning, okay? But Married to a Serial Cheater will continue in about a week from now, all right? Please stay tuned, and I hope that you enjoyed part 2 of Married to a Serial Cheater. Please click like and share, and definitely drop me some comments down below. And you guys, you always know, be good or be good at it. And in the meantime, and in between time, keep your heads up and your eyes open. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.